The Stoic Guide to Overcoming Fear: How to Find Courage and Calm in Uncertain Times. Fear. That cold tightening in the chest, the restless thoughts that spiral in the quiet of night, the sense that something bad might happen, even when all seems calm. Fear is a universal emotion, one we all carry. Sometimes it protects us, but more often it imprisons us. In uncertain times, like the world we live in today, fear has a way of amplifying. The economy, climate change, personal struggles, social pressure, the unknowns multiply, and so does our anxiety. But what if we could change our relationship to fear? What if we could understand it, not as something to be fought or feared in itself, but as something to be accepted, examined, and moved through, with calm, with clarity, with courage? That's what the Stoics believed. For the ancient Stoics, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, fear was not something to be ignored or denied. It was a signal, a teacher, and most importantly, it was an opportunity. An opportunity to grow stronger, to return to what we can control, and to let go of everything we cannot. In this video, we'll explore how the Stoics approached fear, not with false bravado, not with blind optimism, but with reason, self-discipline, and inner stillness. We'll walk through their teachings, learn practical ways to face fear with grace, and reflect on how to live more courageously, even when the future feels uncertain. This is your guide to overcoming fear. The Stoic way. So take a deep breath. Let go of everything beyond this moment, and join me on this journey inward. The nature of fear, a Stoic perspective. Before we can overcome fear, we must understand it. The Stoics believe that fear, like all our emotions, arises not from the external world, but from our judgments about it. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said it plainly. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Think about that for a moment. Fear does not come from the storm. It comes from your belief that the storm will harm you. It does not come from the future. It comes from your belief that the future will bring suffering. In this way, fear is born not from reality, but from the story we tell ourselves about reality. The Stoics saw this as the root of nearly all human suffering. We confuse what is in our control with what is not, and in doing so, we give away our power. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and a student of Stoicism, wrestled with this daily. In his meditations, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." For the Stoics, this was the core idea. Fear, anxiety, and panic often stem from forgetting this principle. We fear death, yet we cannot avoid it. We fear what people think, yet their opinions lie beyond our reach. We fear failure, but often, the fear is worse than the failure itself. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Imagine how much mental suffering could be reduced if we simply observed our fear, questioned it, and brought our focus back to what is truly within our power. Our thoughts, our actions, our choices. That's what the Stoics teach us. Fear is a mental habit, one that can be unlearned and replaced with courage, clarity, and calm. How to face fear with courage, practical lessons from the Stoics. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting with integrity in the presence of fear. The Stoics understood this deeply. And rather than trying to eliminate fear, they sought to train the mind to walk alongside it. With wisdom, not panic. Lesson 1. Name the fear. Then challenge it. If you would not be afraid of anything, wrote Epictetus, consider all things as outside your control. The first step in facing fear is naming it. Write it down. Speak it out loud. I am afraid of losing my job. I fear being rejected. I fear becoming irrelevant. Then question it. What part of this is in your control, and what part is not? If it's not in your control, then you are fearing a shadow. And Stoicism teaches us, we do not battle shadows. Lesson 2. Anchor yourself to what you can control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily. You have control over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In moments of fear, bring yourself back to your foundation. What can I control right now? Lesson 3. Practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca encouraged his students to routinely face discomfort, not to suffer, but to prepare. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, and say to yourself, 'Is this the condition I feared?'" By choosing discomfort, we loosen fear's grip on our lives. We realize that we can endure far more than we imagined, and that survival does not require comfort, it requires clarity. Try it. Go a day without your usual luxuries. Fast. Sleep on the floor. Go without your phone. And afterward reflect. Was that truly so bad? Is that what I feared? You can control your breathing. You can control your response. You can choose to act with courage, even when afraid. The Stoics believe that true freedom begins when you stop seeking control over the world, and instead master your response to it. Lesson 4. Meditate on the worst case. Then let it go. The Stoics practice something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, not to dwell in dread, but to face the fear in imagination so that it loses its power in reality. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Could I survive it? What virtues could I practice in that scenario? Often, you'll find that the fear is worse than the event itself, and by facing it mindfully, you free yourself from its illusion. Lesson 5. Return to the present moment. Fear lives in the future, but peace lives only in the now. The Stoics practiced presence as a spiritual discipline. Epictetus taught that we must not borrow trouble from tomorrow. Instead, we return to the present moment. Again and again, like a sacred ritual. When you feel fear rising, gently ask yourself, am I safe in this moment? And breathe. Breathe deeply. This is all that exists. Final thoughts on courage. You will never eliminate fear completely, but you can learn to coexist with it peacefully. You can choose to act with courage, not because you are fearless, but because you are free. Free from illusion. Free from attachment. Free from trying to control the uncontrollable. That is what the Stoics call strength. And that is what you are capable of. Stoic daily practices to build resilience and inner peace. Knowledge means little if it's not lived. The Stoics believed that wisdom was not for books or speeches, but for daily practice. It was a way of life. They didn't just talk about virtue, courage, or peace. They trained for it, like a warrior trains for battle. Each day they showed up, for themselves, for others, for the world. You can too. Here are Stoic-inspired practices you can begin, today, to build courage, resilience, and inner calm. 1. Begin the day with a morning reflection. When you wake up in the morning, wrote Marcus Aurelius, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant. That may sound pessimistic, but it's not. It's a mental preparation ritual. Marcus wasn't judging people. He was training himself to stay calm no matter how others behaved. Each morning, take a few quiet minutes. Ask yourself, what challenges might I face today? What virtue will I need to meet them? How can I remain centered? This is how you begin your day, not by reacting, but by choosing how you want to show up. 2. Practice the view from above. The Stoics often practice something called the view from above, a mental exercise to gain perspective. Picture yourself from above, then zoom out. Your home, your town, your country. Soon, you're looking down on Earth itself, a blue dot floating in silence. From this height, how serious do your fears feel? From this height, what truly matters? This practice helps us remember. We are not the center of the universe. And our problems, though real, are fleeting like waves on a vast ocean. 3. Apply the trichotomy of control. Many people know the Stoic dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, others are not. But modern Stoic William Irvine introduced a helpful update. The trichotomy. Things we can control. Things we can't. And things we can influence. Each time you feel anxious, ask, which category does this fall into? Your thoughts, you control them. Your reputation, you can only influence it. The past, you control none of it, only your response now. This simple habit helps reduce mental noise and refocus energy where it matters. 4. End the day with a Stoic review. Seneca ended each day by reviewing his thoughts and actions. He asked, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What will I do differently tomorrow? You can do the same. Each night, take 5 minutes. Reflect with honesty, but without shame. Praise your progress. Acknowledge your slip-ups. Then let the day go. This is how we grow. Slowly, deliberately, with compassion. 5. Live according to nature, with purpose. For the Stoics, to live according to nature meant more than living in harmony with the earth. It meant living with reason, virtue, and purpose. Every day, you have a choice. To live reactively, or to live by your deepest values. Courage, justice, temperance, wisdom. These are not lofty ideals. They are daily actions, how you speak, how you treat others, how you respond to stress. When you live from these virtues, you become unshakable. Not because life gets easier, but because you grow stronger. Final reflections. Life will always contain fear. The future will always be uncertain, but your peace does not depend on the future. It depends on your philosophy, on your training, on your practice, on your willingness to meet each day with calm, courage, and clarity. The Stoics do not offer easy answers, but they offer something far more powerful. A way of life rooted in truth. And that life, with all its stillness, wisdom, and strength, is always available to anyone who seeks it, including you.